Hey guys, this is Jammy951 and today I'm bringing a new series on my channel of Xplane. So as you can see probably by the 737 in front of you, there's going to be a world tour. So if I go ahead and actually get into the plane and start up, once I've started up I'll talk more to you about what I'm doing with this world tour. So our trim, which I forgot to work out last time, or earlier, 3.6, so roughly there. So that's our takeoff trim. Our flaps, just go to this panel just so I can see what I am doing. For our takeoff, it will be at 15. Obviously, we won't have to worry about that at this second. Go back to pilot view. And what we need to start doing is getting our engines sorted. So, we start getting the fuel as we call for our better pushback. So while we're just waiting for them to clear. So basically with this world tour, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be trying to fly to every single country in the world. So I'm flying from Gatwick currently to France, so basically that'll be my first drawing off, well, that's my first leg of it. I've already got the 42 flight plans already planned out for the whole of Europe. That's minus 2 different countries, which will be the way we come back after doing the rest of our legs into all the different other continents. So
is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Right, shut up. So basically we are going to be flying through all the different ones, and all the different airports, all the big airports around the world. Basically doing that. So if there's any specific ones, obviously I've got my European legs set out currently, but if you've got any airports that you specifically want me to actually fly into, just let me know in the comment section below, and I'll be happy to change the plans to reflect what you want. Obviously where we land and park will be restarting and so on, but obviously it won't be on the same day, otherwise I'll be knackered by the end of it. But as I say, 42 stops within Europe. Obviously one of them isn't an actual country, it's just because I want to land there, because it's supposedly a bit of a pain to land, that being in the Gibraltar, but that'll be our last one within Europe before we come back at the end of our legs. So as you can see, this whole design here, I obviously worked on it before this series. I have been working on the design of this. This took me over 12 hours to actually create, because I basically took the white template and then coloured everything in myself. And I've got to say, the lining up of all the paint jobs on it was a nightmare. And half it was just hand drawn through obviously Photoshop and then exported out, and it was a lot of trial and error, as it was actually my first conversion, which is great for me picking such well, the 737 as my first trial, when I could pick something like the Baron 58 or the Cessna 172, but nah, I like a challenge. Obviously I am solely trusting my FMC and Autopilot to actually get me there safely. Oh my god, I hate Autopilot at times. That's fine. Yeah, I know. Lights to go off. Anti-collision. Not mistake, another two that I needed. So this isn't how I wanted this first one to go. So the flight plan that I had told me which routes to use, and it gave me the HARDY airway, and let's just say that's going to take me 3,000 nautical miles in the completely wrong direction, when this flight is only meant to be 100 less than 200 nautical miles away. So obviously there's something wrong. So I've just basically taken that out, and instead of 25,000 feet we'll only need to go to 24,000 to be able to reach where we need. The LNAV and VNAV now work, so therefore we can actually go back on them and not have to worry ourselves. So there is a Cat 3 ILS on this runway, so I could use that to auto land a 737. I've never used it on this plane. I have used it on my A330 when I used to fly that a lot. Obviously I might go back to flying that eventually as soon as I did actually spend money on it, but I gave up with Xplane for a few months because I had other games that I wanted to play more, but now I'm actually determined to play this a lot more because I miss it, and it was interesting. With my dad being in the RAF, he's flown fast jets, he was a navigator on a Tornado, he's flown in E3s, so I've got my fascination for planes from him. It started off with all the military planes, he used to take me down. I used to sit in Tornadoes, so that's probably one of my purchases for Xplane, will be the Tornado that they've got, because obviously I enjoy that kind of thing. So obviously I need to also see if they've got a skin for it, because unfortunately the Tornado I used to fly got mothballed years back, which is why he got posted elsewhere and so on and so forth. But I had Xplane 10, I never really got into it. I didn't have a PC that could run it. Now I've got a PC that can run a simulator quite well. Obviously at the moment frames are not great, but then I've been messing around, installing a load of texture packs, which do affect, obviously, graphics, as any person that's been on the simulator could tell you, and everything. It is a nightmare. I don't have the RAM to deal with probably as much as I have on here, so that'll be another upgrade for my computer, but all in good time. Obviously I've got birthday at the end of this month, I've got Christmas 2 months off, so all in all there's plenty of time to upgrade within the next 2 months. Obviously I've got a feeling this series is going to run quite a few months because of how many countries there are in the world. I've not counted them. As I say, I've only planned out the European leg, so I know from a fact from that how many flight plans I've got saved on my computer is I've got 42 stops, this being the first one on this. I've got at least 2 more in Europe to deal with, which is your Greenland and Ireland, before I end up back where we started at Gatwick. I'm only seeing if this auto-land feature worked. If it does, it's going to save me a lot of pain for future endeavours, because landing is not my strong point, as I've already said.
400.
So that'll take the errors that I could do.
300.
But I am ready just in case it doesn't want to.
200.
Right.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20.
Right.
10,
Positive rate.
Oh crap. I wouldn't clap.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10,
No! Plane!
Please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened and all items stowed until the seatbelt sign is turned off. Please make sure you have all your personal belongings
Plane!
before you exit
Stupid
the
plane!
aircraft.
Get off!
Careful when opening the
No!
overhead compartment. You're now free to use your mobile phone.
80 knots.
All lightweight devices.
Ah! Yeah.
Thank you for flying with us today. We hope you have a
That
great
was
day.
absolutely terrible.
And on another flight.
That's the only problem with not using the World Traffic ATC. It does not stop those type of planes from being there, which cause a lot of problems. So I came off at the wrong kind of thing, but I was more trying to avoid that plane. So that is my excuse for how bad landing, but I did kind of float my plane back up, which is always a bad thing. So we are just going to taxi along here. So, power down that engine, Alright. The APU parking brake start. APU bleed is on. APU is on. Overhead panel. Let's look up. I actually need lights. That's not me, is it? Fasten seat belts is off. They're cut off. All of them to off. Fuel pumps off. Right. There we go. So that means APU can be turned off. Which means they can go to that. Then to that. Pats to off. Anti-ice, oh yeah. Off. Which brake is already off because I forgot to set it. Incoming down there, off. ABU bleeds off. Secure procedures. So that one and that one off. Emergency lights. They need to be going off. They're already off. Them to off. Fuel damper is off. Start things up. Already on auto. Ground power off. Standby power off. Forget when you close that. And that one too. Off. So there we have it. We have made it to our first airport. So we are now in France. As you can see, we are do it that way. We are now at one of the busiest airports I've seen in a long time in this game, because to be fair, I haven't actually flown to many places. I'm mainly flying to the same places each time. So I'm going to jump back in the cockpit where it's quieter. Right, so with this tour, it's also showing me different airports which I would have probably not visited myself, as I've pretty much only flown to Manchester, London, Frankfurt, Innsbruck, JFK, and I think Iceland, but I'm not 100% sure. So, and I have also flown to France before, but to different, I think Lyon is where I last flew. So anyway guys, this is where I'm going to end this. Obviously, if you are interested in the series, obviously drop a like and subscribe, and remember to hit that bell button so that you'll be notified when I next upload within this series, and also my other content, because I am looking into other different series that I can start. So anyway, I'll catch you in the next one.